Welcome to yet another video on my channel. If you're new here, hello, I am Ketaki Vaidya, and on this channel I share career development strategies to build a fulfilling career in tech. If this is something that interests you, please consider subscribing to my channel and stay till the end because today we will be talking about something very interesting, the ability to make right career decisions. Now, a few months ago, I was at a crossroad where I had to choose between two paths, and I had to take a decision that would significantly impact my life. But even when I analyzed the pros and cons of each of the choices that I was faced with, I didn't know which one I should be taking. I didn't know what would happen when I took a certain decision, and it was not an easy position to be in. And this is the case with most of us. We often find ourselves at these crossroads. We find ourselves at this juncture where we are faced with two choices and we don't know which one to take. It does affect our career, and we don't know if it would be the right one even when we spend hours analyzing what would be the right decision for us. So this is a common trait of our brain. Whenever we have to take an important decision, our brain gets into the pattern of over analysis, and even when you make a certain choice, it will show you what's wrong about it. It will try to reduce the risks as much as it can. So in this situation, how do you decide if you are taking the right decision, and how do you rely on your ability to make the right career decisions to actually have a successful career? And I felt that this is a very important topic. So today, here I am with a video, a very short one indeed, but I'll be giving you some tips and tricks to navigate this situation. The first tip is talk to a mentor. Now, when we are faced with this choice and we do understand the background of it, we are spending hours to analyze the pros and cons of each choice, but in doing so, we get into this zone where we have our own unconscious bias creeping in, and that blinds our ability to make the right career decision. So it helps to just share your thoughts with another person who can give you an unbiased view of what each choice might be leading to. And that is where a mentor comes in. So if you have a mentor, well and good, set up a session with them and take their advice on what they think. Let them know what your thought process is. Tell them why you're thinking a certain way, why you're going to make a certain choice, and that'll help you to get their opinion on what they think is the right decision. And it'll give you another viewpoint, which will also help you to become unbiased in your final decision. If you don't have a mentor, I completely understand. Many of us might not have a mentor that we can easily schedule calls with. In this case, what you can do is just find a friend who can give you an unbiased view of what seems to be right. And this is, you have to choose this friend very wisely, because friends might also give you a biased view depending on how close they are to you. So you have to find a friend who can just focus on the logic, focus on the practicality of each choice, and give you their opinion and their inputs on what they think is right. So just to have that viewpoint, you might not take that decision finally, and it's not as if they will have the final say in what you make of this crossroad. It will definitely help you to get a viewpoint where you are more confident about your decision. Now, the second tip is write it down. Now, this is a common tip that I give on most of my videos, because I know that when you write something down, it's a different communication medium to your mind, and that helps you to process your thoughts very clearly. So when you're sitting with a decision and when you're trying to make a choice, what will typically happen is you will be ruminating over a certain point of view, and there's a lot of mess in your head and you don't know what to make of it. But when you write things down, when you are making a pros and cons list, and when you are making a list of what ifs with each choice that you're faced with, when you write it down, it is going to make it absolutely clear in your head. And rather than ruminating on all of those thoughts in a mess, you can organize your thoughts, you can verbalize them very clearly, you can articulate them with clarity, and that will help you to have a foundation with which you can approach this decision. And the third tip is more of a mindset tip. This might sound crazy, but it's something that I've always believed in, that when you are faced with a choice, and when you have to take a decision, there'll always be the what ifs of what would have happened if you would have taken the other choice, what would have happened if you didn't take this decision, what would have happened if you didn't change that role in your career, what would have happened if you just waited another year in the company to get the next promotion. And these what ifs never have an answer. So when you take a certain decision, you are taking it based on the data that you have at that point. based on the advice that you've received from people and based on certain other factors which are relevant at that point of time. But 5 years down the line, you might have a very different mindset. 5 years down the line, you might have a very different thought process, and you might have never taken the same decision. So you can never answer these what ifs of not taking a certain decision or not making a certain choice. What you could rather do is take a certain decision and make things right after you take it. So when you take a certain decision, you are living with it and you will do everything in your capacity to make it right. So let me give you an example. So a few months ago, I was faced with a very important decision in my life, and these were two choices that I had. One was to get masters in the US and then become a product manager 2 years down the line. The other decision was to become a product manager immediately while transferring to the US on an international transfer in my company. And both of these decisions were very hard because I was prepared for higher education. I wanted to do it. On one side, I was very excited about that aspect of my life. The other aspect was the coming to the US on an international transfer was a debt-free route, and it would also give me more time to dive deeper into the product management field and have very relevant industry experience. So when I was faced with these decisions, I knew that there were what ifs on both the sides. But once I decided to come to the US for work, I never looked back, because now I'm doing everything in my capacity to make it right. I'm reading about product management, I'm taking online courses on product management. I am trying to understand everything well at work. I'm trying to apply the principles that I learn to my work. And that way, I'm trying to compensate the need for higher education that I had, and diving deeper into the field and immersing myself into the field. I'm attending product conferences. I'm trying to speak at the product conferences. I'm surrounding myself with everything that is related to product. So in this way, what I'm trying to do is, now that I've taken a decision, I'm trying to make it right. I'm trying to eliminate any sense of regret that I might have by taking action. And this is my tip for you: take action to make the decision right. So once you have taken a decision, do not look back and think about the what ifs. Just take action and make it right so that you have no regrets when you look back 5 years down the line. This was the video. I hope it helped. And if you have anything to add, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you have any new topic that you want me to make a video on, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to make videos on those topics. With this said, this is the end of the video, and I hope you found value in it. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.